Motivation is a lie, and here is why. You watch a motivational video, you feel fired up, you go to the gym, you crush it for 2 or 3 days, and then one morning, you wake up, and that fire is gone. Just like that, you skip a day, then two, then a week, and suddenly you are back to zero telling yourself, I just don't have the discipline. But let me tell you something. The people who work out every single day without fail are not more disciplined than you. They do not have more willpower. Their brains are just wired differently. Not because they were born that way, but because they programmed it that way. They turned exercise from something their brain wants to avoid into something their brain actually craves. And there is a science behind exactly how they did it. In this video, I am going to show you step by step how to rewire your brain so that working out stops being a battle and starts being something you genuinely look forward to. And toward the end of this video, I am going to show you one technique that eliminates the need for motivation entirely. Once you learn it, you will never rely on motivation again. If this kind of content speaks to you, do me a favor and hit subscribe. On this channel, I combine fitness and glow up with real science, and every video gives you something you can start using today. Let us get into it. Here is what most people do not understand about motivation. Motivation is an emotion, and just like every other emotion, it comes and goes. You cannot control when it shows up, and you definitely cannot control when it leaves. Relying on motivation to work out is like relying on being in a good mood to go to work. Some days you feel it, most days you do not. The people who are consistent did not figure out how to stay motivated. They figured out how to not need motivation at all. And the secret is in how your brain processes rewards. Your brain has a chemical called dopamine. You have probably heard of it. Most people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical, but that is not exactly right. Dopamine is actually the anticipation chemical. It is what makes you want things, not what makes you enjoy things. When you scroll your phone, your brain gets a tiny hit of dopamine with every new post, every notification, every short video. It is fast, it is easy, and it requires zero effort. Now think about what happens when your alarm goes off and your brain has to choose between scrolling your phone in bed or getting up and going for a run. The phone wins every time because your brain has learned that the phone delivers dopamine faster and easier than exercise. That is the real problem. It is not that you are lazy. It is that your brain is choosing the easier dopamine source. And until you change that equation, working out will always feel like a fight. Let me ask you this. What is the first thing you do when you wake up? Phone or movement? Drop it in the comments because your answer tells you everything about your dopamine wiring right now. Here is something most people never think about. Your brain is designed to conserve energy. Thousands of years ago, wasting energy unnecessarily could mean not surviving. So your brain developed a system that avoids unnecessary effort. Every time you think about working out, your brain runs a quick calculation. How much energy will this cost versus how much immediate reward will I get? Exercise costs a lot and the reward is weeks away. So your brain flags it as a bad deal and sends the feeling of not today. That feeling is not weakness. It is your brain doing its job. The trick is to override that system not through willpower, but by giving your brain a reason to want the workout right now. This is where the reprogramming starts. Your brain learns through a loop. Cue, then behavior, then reward. If the reward feels good, your brain tags that behavior as worth repeating. Do it enough and it becomes a habit. The key is making the reward immediate. After every workout, take 30 seconds and acknowledge what you just did. Say it out loud. I showed up. It sounds stupid, but your brain registers completion as a reward. Another method is tracking workouts visually. 2. Put a calendar on your wall and mark an X every day you train. After a few days, you have a streak, and your brain starts protecting it. Research shows the streak effect creates powerful psychological commitment. Breaking a streak feels like a loss, and your brain hates losses more than it loves gains. On the days you absolutely do not feel like working out, tell yourself you only have to do 2 minutes. Put on your shoes and do 2 minutes of anything. Push-ups, a light jog, stretching. What happens almost every time is once you start, you keep going. Your brain resists the idea of a 45-minute session, but cannot argue with 2 minutes. Once you are moving, dopamine kicks in and 20 minutes pass before you know it. The 2-minute rule removes the mental barrier. You are not committing to a workout, you are committing to 2 minutes. And 2 minutes is nothing. But those 2 minutes change your brain's relationship with exercise from resistance to action. Everything I have told you so far is about making exercise easier for your brain to accept. But this next part is where the real transformation happens, and this is what I told you to wait for at the beginning. It is called identity shifting, and once you understand it, the game is completely different. Right now, you probably think of yourself as someone who is trying to work out, trying to be consistent, trying to get in shape. But trying is not an identity. It is a struggle. The people who never miss a workout do not see themselves as people who are trying. They see themselves as people who work out, period. There is a massive difference. When your identity is, I am someone who works out, the decision is already made. You do not debate whether to go to the gym today because that is just what you do. It is like asking yourself whether you are going to brush your teeth today. You do not think about it, you just do it. How do you make that shift? You start proving it to yourself with evidence. Every workout you complete, every run you finish, every time you choose movement over comfort, you are casting a vote for your new identity. Within a few weeks, your brain starts to genuinely believe, I am someone who does this. And once that belief locks in, the need for motivation disappears because you are not fighting yourself anymore. You are just being yourself. Imagine what that feels like. No more alarm anxiety, no more guilt, no more internal war, just a person who moves, because that is who they are. Now I need to tell you something that ties all of this together. If you spend hours scrolling social media and watching short videos all day, you are actively making it harder for your brain to want exercise. When your brain gets flooded with easy dopamine from screens, it raises your baseline. Normal activities like working out feel boring by comparison. Your brain cannot get excited about exercise because it is already overstimulated. The fix is simple. In the first hour after waking up, do not touch your phone. No scrolling, no notifications. Let your brain sit in a low dopamine state. Then when you work out, the dopamine from exercise actually registers as meaningful. Your brain starts associating exercise with that good feeling instead of competing with your phone. If this is hitting different right now, smash that like button and subscribe. New content combining fitness and glow-up science drops every week. Here is the part nobody connects. When your brain craves workouts, everything else in your glow-up accelerates. You run consistently so your face debloats and your jawline sharpens. You lift consistently so your shoulders broaden and posture improves. Your skin gets better because exercise increases blood flow to skin cells. Sleep improves because your body needs real rest after real effort. And all these changes feed back into the loop. You see the difference in the mirror, and that visual reward locks the habit in deeper. Suddenly, the thing you used to dread becomes the thing you cannot live without. 3 weeks from now, you will be somewhere different. Not because you found new motivation, but because you stopped needing it. You rewired the system. You trained your brain to want the hard thing. And the person looking back at you in the mirror will be proof. Tomorrow, when that alarm goes off, do not reach for your phone. Put your shoes on, give your brain 2 minutes, and watch what happens. Next video, I am breaking down how to build a weekly routine that maximizes both performance and glow up. You do not want to miss it. See you there.